Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another City Skyline experiment where today is a very interesting one. In the past, before, we've done many kind of experiments where we've built cities in very awkward environments, and this one's going to be, no different. We're going to be building a city on an island. Now, we've done that in the past, doesn't seem too crazy, but that island is going to be in a lake. You might be thinking, well, yeah, that's kind of where the majority of islands kind of form. But that lake is going to be in an island, and that island's going to be in the sea. So basically, we're creating a city on an island, in a lake on an island in the ocean. Sounds quite confusing, doesn't it? But it all makes sense when we see it. So this is the beautiful. Whoa. Calm down, boy. Calm down. Putting little water sources in there. He's calm down, going crazy. This is the thing. We're going to be creating a city on this little island here, which is in a lake on an island in the ocean. Now, we're going to have a few little rules to this. Apart from creating two little water sources, which are now going to flow beautifully. There's a few little rules. We cannot build on the outer island, the big island. We can only build on the small island, which is going to create a few little issues, one of them being that we need to somehow get the residents into the island without building on the outer island. We also need to import-export goods, which is going to be a huge issue. So I can see a lot of underground building and tunneling happening today, which is going to be quite fun. So if you guys enjoy this, I want to see more experiments like this in the future, then make sure you smash that like button down below. If you've got any experiments you want to suggest to me, because this one was left as a comment. I kind of did see it, and I kind of added my own little tweak and kind of flair to it. So, guys, give me some suggestions of experiments you want me to do in the future. Now, a few things we need to do then is first figure out how we're going to get residents onto the island, because we can't build on the outer island. Now, we do have a highway coming in. We also have the train line coming in. Now, what we could do to make it easy for us to import and export goods and obviously get residents in and out is, of course, use trains. Now, the only problem is, it's a very small island. A very, very small island. And now, if I was to use trains, you can see it's going to... We're going to need two. We're going to need like the cargo terminal and the normal passenger terminal. And that's going to take up valuable space that we need to build the world's greatest city. So we're going to try our best. So let's first then start with some infrastructure, is that the right word, to the island. Now we do have the money enabled, so we've got to be careful what we're doing. We're going to create a straight line that separates the island in the middle like that. So I think we'll go to about there, should be good. Right, delete that bit there because it just hangs off a little bit. And we'll kind of buff it to the edges ourselves. Right, this is probably as good as we're going to get it. Right. Yeah, that's fine. Let's keep it like that. What we're going to do then, I'm not going to really create a crossroad in between because we're not going to have a lot of traffic. But we will do, let's do two of these. So one going up to there. We'll use these as kind of like the crossroads in a way. And we do the second one kind of here. And then we're going to have to go around the outskirts of the whole city with a road. Because I want to try and maximize the land that we have and what we're able to build with it to get the most out of this island. It's going to be a utopia. Okay, so question is, do I keep snapping grids on or shall I go around the borders and edges myself like this? I think I should do it like this. Because I can maximize how much space and room we then have. There we go. Beautiful. This is actually going pretty well. I say that now. We'll see what happens in the long run. Nice, mate. Alright, let's keep it going. Okay, there we go. We've gone around the edge of the island, so this is the amount of space that we get to now work with. So now we have to kind of create the gridded system in the middle. Now, before I do that then, we got to think of a few things. We need space for many, many things. Power stations, garbage plants, incinerations, like whatever we're going to use for those kind of stuff. We also need the train station and cargo station too to get the, obviously, passengers and stuff in. Now that's going to be kind of difficult because we also need to have room for us to be able to get the train line to come in and out of the island. Now of course we can't build on this, meaning we have to do it underground. So I think we should focus on the train line first. So let's go to the passenger one here. Now the thing is, I want to kind of centralize it to the whole island because I want to get the maximum amount of people to use it. Now this is going to be very, very difficult, because having it in the middle means somehow we need to get the train tracks to go up and out. It's going to be tough. So if I place that there, and if I had the cargo one over here, now by having the cargo one over here, we're basically saying that this area is going to be the industrial, which I'm happy with that. Now how easy is this going to be? So it could be easier than I'm kind of making it out to be. So if that goes under, and we're just going to pray that that is now connected. Right, where's that kind of going? We kind of have to keep a straight line almost, don't we? Now we can pretty much make this go anywhere we want. So if we bring it to here, it's getting kind of expensive now because this is where... Oh, is that all connected? Yeah, this is where now we have a lot of maintenance for this huge railway. But it works. It works. It doesn't take too much away from what we're trying to accomplish. So what I could do then is push the road. I won't say push the road right against it because I want to have... Let me put snapping on. I want to have a little bit of space either side. Let's go from this angle. So there's space either side just there to build in stuff, and kind of same over here. So we'll keep that kind of going through. Alright, unfortunately we got to do a little bend there because the road doesn't kind of connect properly. But then again, we don't need to do it like that for this area. We could do it a little bit different. So if I was to come out to here by one, and then do the same here, come up by one. Is that just kind of like making it even more awkward for ourselves? Yes and no, because I want to try and maximize the spacing on that side of the platform. We can also set up a road. Do you know what? No, I got a better idea. How close can we put a road on that side? Now with that there, will they walk into that? Because they use that as a station as well. We'll kind of see. We'll kind of play around with that. But let's just get a bunch of grids in now. Let's get this all set up to how we like it with the infrastructure and the roads, and then we'll see where we are before we start zoning it and get people to start moving in on the island within the lake, on an island within the ocean. Whew, I ran out of breath trying to say that one. So we now got the island set up infrastructure wise with the roads. I've also got some piping down too, so we got a little bit of water kind of coverage. We just need to add the water coverage in. So this is going to be quite difficult now, right now, trying to fit in a water source or a water supply. Where's the thickest? I'm trying to think of where to spot the thickest area for it. If not, we might have to resort to like these little tiny ones, which again will do the job fine. It's just quite difficult. And then we have the problem with sewage. But we do have these little basins that we can throw in. So we'll kind of see how it goes. Where's the best place to drop these down? Right, if I do one there, one there. Do you know what? No, yeah, and one there. Right, we'll put 3 in to begin with. There we go. And those little basins, how expensive are they? 800 a week to kind of run. But hopefully they will do what we need them to do. Now, I'll drop one just here. And that also needs to be connected to a water source. There we go. So that is our basic sewage. So we got the water kind of set up. We got the sewage set up as well. We don't know how, much we're going to need to use or whatnot. But I do have a kind of little ace in my back pocket, and that is when it comes down to the garbage and power. Now I got this off the kind of workshop. I'm not sure what it says in English, but it's like an incineration plant that processes and produces power, and it has a really high garbage truck capacity. It costs 175 and upkeep is 32. Now, you could consider this kind of cheating, but at the same time, it's my little ace in my back pocket, might get out of jail free card for when it all goes wrong. It is quite a big thing, so I'm going to drop it in. We're going to use it because that's going to not only be the garbage needs, it doesn't produce any pollution, which is good, but also it produces power. Now, the only downside is it can only produce power once it gets garbage. So for, I don't know, a little while we're building the city, we're going to have no power until we start to get garbage coming in. So I feel like we're kind of semi-ready. We'll go with the upper residential to begin with. Let's paint a load of this in. We'll kind of do it up to here. There we go. Get this side in as well. So up to there, to there. We get a little bit more in on this side. I'm kind of zoning like where the power needs to go to begin with once we do start producing power. Get some upper residential in here. Here. Right, I think that's good for now. We'll get some commercial in. Now we're going to have to go with low density commercial to begin with. Just because obviously they're not educated enough for any other type of commercial. And of course we'll get some industry in, so they've got some jobs. The great thing about this is now is we can export goods. So that's always good. So we'll let it build up then. It's going to start building, and obviously we have to wait for a train to arrive before we get any residents coming in. Oh, apparently there's water going up on the road over here. I don't see where. Maybe it's like a little bit of a glitch or whatnot. Right, okay, so we've got no power. No power is being produced until a garbage truck picks up some trash, takes it back, starts incinerating it. You can see there's garbage reserves now going in. And then it's to start producing power. So just for a little while, we're going to have no power coming in. And now... Oh, wait, no, it's operating like normal. So now we just got to wait for a train to arrive. So if I go to the public transport, we just got to play the waiting game for a train to arrive. Not sure when one will arrive, but we could be playing a very long waiting game. A very long one. We shall see. We're still not producing anything at the moment, but then again, it could be down to the fact that the train station needs power to be able to work. Now, garbage reserves are going in. We now need water. Again, no water is being produced because it's technically saying there's no power to produce it. We're getting no residents arriving because nothing's going in, so I might have to, guys. I might have to, just for now, drop down while we've still got a little bit of money. A little solar plant here so we can just power a little bit of the city. So we can get some... There we go. Residents are now arriving. Perfect. So if they're now on the way, I'm going to quickly delete that then, because I don't really want it. Let's go back to the public transport, and now we're just waiting for that first train to make its way into the city, drop off the residents, and then things should be functioning as normal. I'm just waiting to spot one come along one of the lines now and come down. So any moment now, guys. Any moment now. Oh, there we go. That's a train. Is it? Yeah, it's a normal train. Okay, I was thinking it was going to be a cargo train, but it's not real good. So, okay, let's see this actually happen then. So, again, we're producing no power again. But now we have residents. There'll be garbage production. People will be working here. Oh, there's an actual person there. Where did they come from? Alright, we're playing the waiting game still. When is this train going to arrive? Oh, maybe it was a cargo train. Ah. I think it was a cargo train. That's a shame. There we go. There we go. It's on its way. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Right. It's about to happen. Let's zoom back in. Let's see the first train arrive with... God knows how many people are going to be getting off. Quite a few. So are they using this side? They're not really using this side, are they? So maybe it's because it's not close enough. But if I did something like this... Let me take off the snapping grid. If I did that, and then with the move it tool, get it in as close as possible like that. Does that then get used? Maybe not. But loads of trains are arriving and there's loads of people now here. So we're now going to be... Are we producing... Yeah, we're making 80 megawatts. 40 megawatts now we're down to. But that should be enough to kind of run the little island to begin with. It's kind of floating yes and no. But as more people move in and we start producing more garbage, then things should slowly start to change. My only main concern now is trying to turn a profit for the island so we don't go into dramatic debt. But now as everybody is moving in, things should start changing. Things should start changing. Making 80 megawatts now, which is more than enough. So you can already see that they're complaining about policing issues. So let's get that kind of thrown down. Do I go for something as ridiculous as the Enforcer Tower, or should we keep it nice and simple to begin with like some basic police stations? I think we keep it nice and basic to begin with. So a police station there. We'll do a small little firehouse. And we'll do a small little health centre. Apparently the health centre is a lot bigger than I thought it was. And we'll do a little bit of death care. So just the kind of basic needs to run the city. So they've got what they need. We're getting some noise complaints from some of them. Maybe we should replace the people who are complaining about noise complaints with like commercial. Might be the best option for us, but as it stands right now, the city is functional. So let's get the rest of the gaps in them. So you're complaining about noise, so we're going to replace you with commercial. You're also complaining about noise. So, of course, we replace you with commercial. And then, might as well just drop everything high density residential so we can maximize the amount of people living on the island. There we go, get on this side too. Alright, put it back into play mode then so we can kind of get to it, boy. There we go. More people are going to be joining very, very soon. So this is actually working out pretty well. We got a way to get in and out of the island, and we've also got a way to import and export goods as well. So technically the city should be semi-functional, right? I can't wait till we fully upgraded it. We got like some ridiculously huge skyscrapers, and we can kind of see then what levels of population we can potentially reach. I mean, we've got some kind of high buildings right now, but we can make them a lot bigger. We could potentially make them a lot bigger. We're actually making some profit as well, which is pretty cool. So we're going to think about setting up ourselves stuff in which we can make money. And that would be a park. Now, we got some pumps down here which technically would start producing noise pollution and pollution in general. So maybe we set this area up here into becoming a park. So what we'll do, we'll de-zone it. Even though I've just zoned it, we'll de-zone it. Now, do I set up 2 individual parks or 1 park? I'm thinking it could be 2 individual ones, and we could do like 2 individual ones up here as well. That would be perfect, wouldn't it? Right, let me de-zone this as well. Right, they're all gone. We're going to create some leisure stuff so we can get some tourists on the island. So let's paint these park areas. We need to go with a smaller one. They're going to be very small parks. Oh, there's our first one, Elizabeth City Park. I didn't know it's a city park. So I want to know. So we're going to have 4 in total. So Elizabeth Gardens and Sheffield Grounds. Nice. So let's start with our first one then. Let's start with the actual city park. Put the entrance there. Right, I'm going to kind of pause all this now. And we'll do a small little rectangle square like that. We'll get a side gate on the opposite side. And then we'll try and squeeze in as much as we can. And then whatever gaps are left over, that's where we put in like the residential back in and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to grab what we can to up in the entertainment levels and leisure levels. So that should be good for that. We've now got the amusement park, which we'll place here. Wait, the amusement park needs a little bit more room, but I think we can get away with it just being here. So the main gate will drop it there. And the side gate... Is that a side gate? Yeah, it's actually quite big for a side gate, isn't it? So then... I have the path go like this. We'll keep the path going like that. No, we'll kind of do it like this as well. So some of the rides are big, but we can squeeze in some smaller ones. So put that stuff in the middle. Right, what rides we got? That's quite a small one. That's a small one. Too big. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Match made in heaven. Well, that's 2 in there. So we'll set up the other 2 over here. So we've done that one. Now it's time for the zoo. So the main gate can go there. Do we need a side gate on this? I feel like we don't, because there's nothing on that side. Then again, I could have done the same on this side too, couldn't I? Oh well. What is done is done. Right, this is quite going to be a weird zoo now. So where we have the small gaps, we just place down the general buildings. And try and get like at least 1 or 2 enclosures. If we can't get enclosures in, it's going to be a very, very, very sad zoo. What's the smallest thing I can get in? Do you know what? I can't get anything in. Right, this could be a scam zoo. Where it's all just restrooms. Does that bring entertainment value? It kind of does. Souvenir shops. We can all go to the zoo. Have a souvenir of the no animals that exist in this zoo. There we go. Let's. This zoo has no animals. This is a scam. The greatest scam that ever lived. I'm gonna up the ticket prices on each one. Right, there we go. There's one last one, which is of course the nature reserve. So main gate, kabam. So the nature reserve is actually going to be kind of fine. We can get away with this. Right, I'm actually running out of money slowly, so I'm going to grab a quick loan. There's a 20G one to build some more stuff. I should have been paying attention to my money. Right, we get a few little tents in, or can we get something a bit bigger? That's too big. That should be fine, right? And up the price of that. Okay, so we've got 4 kind of parks in, which what we do now then is kind of then paint the areas. So all the little gaps that are left over, we put in residential. So we can just maximize the space we have. Could you imagine living in an apartment that overlooks the fake zoo that has no animals? Could you imagine paying a ticket to enter the fake zoo that has no animals? You'd be kind of mad, wouldn't you? So we'll see what happens then. We'll see if we slowly start to turn a profit. We're still waiting for lots of residents to actually arrive on the island. But now we've got all those in, hopefully we start to see a profit turn. We're about to go into 1,000's worth of debts weeks, which is not great. People are arriving at the parks. But because we got all 4 in, I don't expect us to turn a profit straight away. But at the same time, it's also led on to having leisure on the island. Which, if I can remember which button is the leisure, I always forget which one is the leisure. Leisure, there we go. Look at that. So that can cause now some pretty sweet upgrades when they're ready. When they are ready. We just got to wait for more people to get on the freaking island. What's the unemployment rate like? 20%. It might be worth getting a few more jobs and stuff in. So let's paint some more offices. Industrial area. Get a little bit more of that in, boy. And I wonder how much it will then begin to drop. If it does drop much, we shall see. Because we got to get them working and start making the money before anything can happen. So jobs are increasing, but then so again other people on the island. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. So some time has passed now, and all the parks are now upgraded to level 2. But are they making profit? So the city park is 600 profit. Oh, the theme park is too. I was thinking that one was going to be the one where we don't make the profit because it has a really high maintenance cost. But that is. The zoo. The fake zoo with no animals is. And so is the actual nature park too. So they're all making profit, which is really good. But we're not getting any upgrades just yet because we need to add in some level of education. So let's start with adding in a school. And I think I'm going to drop the school. I kind of want to drop it in areas that won't have maximum upgradings or weird positionings. Like, hey, this is an awkward positioning, so I'm going to drop one there. If I drop one there, we'll then start hearing upgrades. We're still waiting for them sweet, sweet upgrades to come in. So any upgrades happening? Not yet. So we still need a way to get the upgrades to come in. Okay. Okay. Could it be down to the services that we have? Do we just have like a load of people just all of a sudden just arrive at the island? We're up to 8,000 population, which is really good. So does the policing and stuff stretch? It does. And do I have enough for a high school? Yes. So let's drop a high school over here. And will that cause any upgrades? It could be how low of a level the police and fire station and hospital stuff is. So we might need to like use better versions of those maybe. Because I can't see the upgrades coming anytime soon. But now we are starting to have some higher level, some education in some form coming in. Let's actually start to zone the high density commercial. So we'll have a little bit down here. We'll throw someone over here as well. I eventually want to replace all the low density with it. So we'll get rid of this little section there and throw in some high density. Now of course no one's going to be able to work here just yet, but as the people get educated, the jobs will then come. But in the meantime, I can earn money from the taxation, which is another benefit for your boy. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I drop in some parks and stuff to increase the leisure. Maybe that's what's missing. So, because we don't have much room, should we stick to the carousels? Can they be placed on the edge of the islands anywhere? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to squeeze one in here. We'll squeeze one there. Right, that covers like a large radius, doesn't it? Will we get upgrades now? Still no upgrades. Okay. Okay. That's the game your boy wants to play, or the city wants to play. Let's think about changing. Right, well, I can pay off this loan now. So let's take the big boy loan. And let's first start then. Is this the police station? Yeah. Right, I'm going to get rid of all of these services. Policing, the big enforcer tower. It's a lot of money. Where can I place that in that will fit perfectly? Maybe down here. There. Right. This fire station can go there. What else do that? Oh, the healthcare. We need room for a big boy hospital. So if I drop that there, right, we might take a hit in terms of money and funds. But will that cause the upgrades? Oh, I'm hearing dings. Where did I hear those dings? Yes, the upgrades are now happening. We're just going to give it time to actually perform. So we're hemorrhaging money right now, which is now starting to reduce again and come down. But some buildings got them upgrades. You can see it's now starting to come in. Perfect. Perfect. We just got to find a way to make money again. So somehow, again, once those upgrades start happening though, then more people live on the island and we can like tax people more. So it's a tough one. It's a tough and a sticky situation to be in. I could reduce some of the services. I have upped the tax as well. So it's just one of those things. You got to hold out and wait for it. You got to wait for it. What's the education like? Elementary. Okay, so high school's a lot worse than elementary. Interesting, but we don't have any money. I'm going to take that little bailout when it comes. And that should see me through for a little while. Until the rest of the upgrades come in. See, I heard another ding. Something else. That was a store that got upgraded. Oh, we're down to 1,000 losing a week now. It was at 2,000. So unemployment's at 40%. Wow. We need to get some more jobs on the island, guys. We need some more jobs. So maybe just for now then, we don't do high density commercial. We hold out until like everyone's educated enough, just so we've got enough jobs. I can't even tell as well if I've kind of painted the whole area. But we'll see. So this will cause some jobs. Okay, there's the bailout we can accept. Put us back into the profit margin. So it's smart that we can just give the people the jobs first so they can make the money. We'll keep those ones that we've got in for now. Because obviously that will be filled up eventually. Because some people are getting educated. We got 11% educated at the moment. So we're down to 43% unemployed. That will soon change as we get more jobs on the island. And eventually we get offices in this as well. It'll be perfect. Boy. Perfect. So the only focus at the moment then is trying to get the city and the island back into the green weekly. We're below 1,000. It's coming in. Something I never realised till I started zoning it was the fact that you can see now I've got these buildings around the outskirts of the island. I didn't realise how far the zoning comes out, which is like kind of cool. For example, if I zone this here, look how much it sticks out by. I didn't realise how much it's sticking out by, which means I can like do like a nice little border around the edge of the whole island. And this will give us another huge boost of residents and stuff like that. Since doing that, we've had the unemployment drop a little bit too. Now down to 29%. So I want to keep that momentum going. And maybe put some commercial on this side up to there. Put some high density commercial because I feel like people are now becoming educated enough. Should be able to work in there, hopefully. We'll see how things go. What seems to be the issue over here? Oh, not enough educated workers. Fine, fine, fine. We're not far off being able to afford as well a university. It's 75,000 to be able to get one. We're making 2,000 a week in income, which is really good. Buildings are upgrading left, right, and centre right now, so it's going pretty crazy. That building just upgraded to level 2, so more peeps can move in. We've got 3 out of total 4 parks level 3. It's the zoo that is on its way to becoming level 3 as well. We can then charge more money to enter the zoo with no animals, which is the biggest scam the world has ever seen. Right. So I think what we do on this little gap that we have left over here, we'll place some offices down as well. There we go. Another extra way to get jobs on the island. So unemployment hasn't dropped much since we're adding that other stuff in because we have added in some more residential. But the people employed versus the jobs available is a massive gap. Majority of it is they need to be educated enough. So once we can afford a university, we're going to drop it in. It's probably going to suck all of our money we're making a week profit-wise. But it's something that we need to get in to be able to educate everybody. It's very important, which also might cause a ton of more upgrades on the island as well. So 75,000 costs nearly 2,000 a week, so we won't be making much profit left after we get that in. Which ain't a problem, don't mind that. Because hopefully the benefits outweigh the negatives in the long run. So I wonder if we then start to see a load of upgrades take place now. So I'm just kind of watching as an overview right now. See the 1 or 2 buildings upgrading. But now we got the university in. Hopefully things change. I mean, I know what's going to change straight away. And that's the fact that everyone's going to be like... Everyone's going to have, obviously, that next option to be educated. Step it up another level. I can hear the dinglings everywhere. Sounds so good. How many people are going there anyway? Wow, quite a few. Let me check the education anyway. So 9% well educated. We kind of, that one elementary school is enough. High school is enough. University is enough. So we only need one of each building to handle the needs, which is perfect because it means I haven't got to place any more down and have more costs. But I'm hoping we can get the capacity of the island, the population, over 10,000. It's now dipped, believe it or not. It was at 8,200 at one point. Now it's down to 7,900. Is more people dying than being born? So I'm going to check now. There's got 3,000 seniors. No. More people are being born than dying. So are they just deciding the sick of living on an island in a lake on an island in the sea? Are they sick of it? I don't know, guys. These offices, how many jobs do they have? 13 jobs in that one bill. Oh, what upgraded? Oh, it's the zoo! Finally, the zoo. Level 3. Yeah, boy. The zoo with no animals. Is it then really a zoo? It's more of a park. Which is weird. But yeah, lots of upgrades are happening right now. So hopefully in the long run, population will boost back up. People are now moving back in. Ish, a little bit. We're actually making a little bit more money as well. So considering we haven't got as many residents as we once had, we are making a lot of money considering we've just dropped down a university. But I think that's now because you can see all over the island, buildings are upgrading for days, which is perfect. So we'll just see how it plays out now. We're making lots of money. Population's died again. Are people just choosing to move out? I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it and we'll see what happens. So now the upgrades are coming in like left, right and centre. The population has now grew to 9,400. Man, there is so many upgrades right now. The commercial area is complaining about not enough educated or not enough workers, should I say. But let's start to think that's maybe because, one, it's too far from the opposite side of the island where the most of the residents live. So I've been thinking, what if I got like a small subway system in? Just 2 stops. One about here for that radius, and then one down here for this radius. Be able to transport the residents to and from where all the jobs mainly are in the island. We got quite a bit of money to do that anyway. So let's give it a go. So let's say we had one just there. You know, the radius to get to it's pretty cool. And then we got a little bit of a gap here to do one. Let's place it here. And then connect everybody up. I don't know how to do a straight line because of how the train line falls. But let's do this now. So one there to there. And back. So you might not seem that far away, but if you lived here and wanted to work over there, right, it's too far to walk. So you would walk to there because it's in walking distance. Get the subway to there and to there, which is also walking distance. So it works out perfect. We'll just see how many of them utilize it and use it. The island's going crazy for upgrades as well. Look at that. Population's now about to peak at 11,000. What's the unemployment like? 17%. Still got a lot of jobs available. We just got to educate everybody. 30% uneducated, which is perfect. Things are happening, guys. Things are legit happening. So it'll be interesting to see How many people use it? Actually, you know what? A lot of people are using it, and that's also down to the fact that because, you know, they can't walk from there to here, so having public transport makes all the difference. It's also going to make people be employed as well, which can be interesting to see what happens. So, it's a weird one, building this city on an island within a lake on an island within the sea, but it seems to be working. You got to do a few. You got to sacrifice a lot, but it's slowly starting to pay off. We're making a lot of money a week, 13,000, which is great. Something else is just upgraded. Ooh, the theme park's now level 4, and so is the nature reserve. Man, we're making so much money off those right now. But again, that's all down to the fact that we got a huge population boost on the horizon right now. So with everybody moving in, everybody moves in technically uneducated, so they can't take the big paying jobs just yet. But you can see the need for elementary school is now on the rise, so it's probably worth me dropping down some more elementary school. Could do, but the boost is only a high demand at the moment while we're having this growth spurt. High school is pretty high too. Universities is solid, mate, solid. So maybe it's worth maybe dropping 1 or 2 of those in. But you know what? We'll do it because we're nice. We're nice like that. So we have a high school over here. So let's drop a high school over here. Can I afford to? No, I can't get it over there. All right, let's drop it here. Another high school. Elementary school. Squeeze them where we can. So apparently you can't build them more to there, but we should be able to get one in here. No. I got some of them on the edges. Maybe just not all of them then. Interesting. Right, get one in there. Where else can I get one in? We'll get one more in. Aha, I can build it there. Sweet. Right, 2 extra elementary schools in there. That should educate the peeps, get them to the jobs that they need. Should be good. It should be good. Well, you know, it's easy for me to say it should be good. But we'll see how this one now ticks along. Then the question now is, when will the population growth end? And what will my population kind of flatline at? Because at the moment, 10,000 looked almost impossible at one point. 15,000 looks very, very easy to now get to. But 20,000 is the question. I think I'm pushing it, predicting 20,000, but with the way it's going, you just never know. You just never freaking know. Okay, before we go into another little grind session then, I was going to check out this metro system. So we only have one vehicle on it, and it seems to be dealing with it perfectly fine. We're having no issues. It picks everybody up that needs to go to where they need to go. Like, it comes down here, picks everybody up, everyone gets off it goes. There's no issues with that whatsoever. But with the growing population, is it worth maybe just upping it to 2? Just for the sake of future-proofing ourselves with the population growth? I think so. Because we're about to cross 15,000. A ridiculous number. I never thought the island would get to 15,000. Now the question is, guys, 20,000. Is it possible? Look at this commercial area just all of a sudden just popping up. Oh my good God. I think we're at to the point now where we're like we're reaching the limits. We're at 19,000 population. Just literally less than 900 to go to get to that magic 20,000 we were talking about earlier. But I don't really think we're going to reach it, because I feel like we're expanding to our limits right now. When it comes to jobs, unemployment's at 41%. That's down to the fact that education. Everybody needs to be educated to take these big paying jobs. Look at this here. You complaining? None of educated workers, need more highly educated workers and stuff like that. University, good. High school, we could just do with more education. That's kind of literally all we can really do with right now. Education for days, but it's like, what do I kind of get rid of for the education? Can't really build on water. Right, we'll place one there. And we'll try and squeeze one in the middle. Oh, I can't squeeze one right there. I don't want to get rid of that. We'll get rid of some of this. Because we have a lot of jobs available for the residents. It just then comes down to being educated enough to accept them. It's going well. It's going well, though. The public transport. Well, look at the traffic first. Traffic's not a problem, but public transport, 383 are using it. How full are those? The 2 trains are managing perfectly. Do we making profit off that? Do you know what we are? We're making profit off the subway system, which is crazy. We can actually pay back our loan as well. We are now officially debt-free as a little island. Less than 600 to go before we break the magic 20,000 number. Do you know what? I feel like we might do it. We're kind of slow. We're still upgrading. We're slowly getting there to the point where it could be a possibility. So I don't know. I feel like we could. We might be able to, guys. We might be able to. Job side of things right now. Damn. We need more people educated. Is it happening though? We got enough for the elementary. We got enough capacity for high school. 9% uneducated. Look at that number. Wow. That's a good number, isn't it? That's a very good number. Now, when it comes to these offices, it takes 9 workers. This one takes 13. This one takes 13. What's that compared to the factories? Oh, they do like 32, 24 workers. They're quite high, aren't they? Versus these, 9, 16. So it's a shame we can't get more of that. Wait, there's a gap here. Why? Why is there a gap there? If I de-zone it and rezone it, will it start to build something in its place? Can we not get a factory small enough to fit in that little 2 gap? If not, we can zone something else to be there. Why don't we zone some offices then? To take its place instead. Because they're not going to use it. We'll use it for something else. Get a few extra jobs on the go. Which is always handy. Look at that guy. We're going to break 20,000 residents very, very soon. For our little island. On a lake, on an island in the ocean. Wow. It's been very successful. Very, very successful. What's the education like now then? Was it 9% uneducated? Still at 9% uneducated. Still working towards that. There's enough capacity. Ooh, 10% now. I think that's because the population's still increasing and everyone's got to go for the school system again. But we're doing well. So what we'll do then, we'll set up some policies now for the whole city. We'll do... should we... I don't know if to do free public transport. Citizens prefer working over education. No, we'll do the other one. Education boost. We'll pick that one. What else could we do? Should we go for free public transport? Let's do it. Because in case you can't afford to get to where you need to go, it might help out stuff. So let's quickly check things out. So the job front, 47% unemployed. Education front. Oh, something does upgraded. Nice. 8% uneducated. So we might see some changes. You can now see elementary eligibilities on the increase then for a second. University is on the rise. That's mainly what the education boost thing does, is get everyone going to university. Now we might see unemployment rise because everyone's choosing to go to school, but in the long run it should work out for us. How does brand new offices? You don't get many workers in there, do you really? But we're finally over 20,000 population. That is ridiculous, guys. So apparently not enough educated workers to work in this building. Wow. Wait, isn't this... This is all low density commercial, isn't it? Wait, what's the difference between these buildings again? 15 versus what? 4. 20 versus 16. Okay, we're dezoning that now to become the higher commercial that we originally wanted it to be. So let's get rid of all of that. So we're going to see a change happen again, but hopefully it should create some jobs. So before we jump into this then, there is 6,731 jobs. So 731 is the number we need to remember. So let's wait for all this to regen. And we're going to have to also wait for it to... I mean, maybe not so much wait for it to start upgrading, because we can have some big jobs from the offset anyway. But it would be nice to watch it start upgrading first before we go any further. Create some of those big skyscrapers and whatnot. So, would you say they're all established right now? Almost. More buildings are starting to upgrade. Wait for a few little upgrades to take place. So 731 was the number. 731. Remember that? As those buildings are upgrading for days, that jobs available should start to increase, which is going up slowly. So 731 is what it was really at, and we've now surpassed it, and it's going to continue to rise as these buildings continue to upgrade too, which is good. How many workers this building got? 20 workers it can take. Damn, boy. What about this one? When that's finished upgrading, 20 workers as well. So 731 was that, remember that? We're now into the 800, so we've gained an extra 100 jobs. And we're still increasing it too. Not bad. Not bad at all. I think you can class this as a huge success then. 20,000 population. I mean, not everybody has a job, but we've chose everybody to go into education. So we're down to 7%, 8% uneducated, 40% highly educated, which is really, really cool. So it's one of those things, you got to battle it out. Try other areas in which we can gain more jobs and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things, you just kind of slowly start replacing the low density commercial with the high density stuff, and then the jobs will just fall in. We gained an extra 100 jobs just by rezoning that area. Not too shabby, right? Not too shabby indeed. Kind of killing it. Very impressed. Very impressed indeed. And I think this is where we're going to end it for today, guys. This was a huge success. The island on a lake, in an island, in the ocean. The city is beautiful. It works. Very successful. Highly recommend doing it yourself if you want to challenge yourself. And with the extra challenge of not being able to build on this, we figured it out in the end. Underground railways. Perfect. Hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, smash that like button down below. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.